Hey, what's up? What's going on out there? I was looking at this interview that Don Lemon, little zesty self, was having with some black women in Harlem, and they were talking about the Charlie Kirk situation. And I thought it was interesting, so I'm going to let the video play and leave my commentary.
We're talking to folks about the reaction to Charlie Kirk's death, his killing, his murder. How do you feel about that?
I feel like the country is doing entirely too much to honor him. We were talking earlier when we were at brunch that the flags are at half staff, and we didn't understand why, considering that he wasn't up.
I don't know it's too hard to understand with some black people, like why they are honoring him. He had a relationship with the president. He echoed a lot of things that a lot of people, especially so-called white people, believe in this country. So that's why.
Figure, not an elected official. So we just really didn't understand that. Agree. I think the country is doing too much. I think it is an effort to divide, to make it more political.
That's another thing that gets me with so-called black people. It's already been division in the country way before Charlie Kirk died. It's going to continue to be division always and forever. That's what so-called black people just can't get out of their thick head. Like, it's always going to be this way, whether they like it or not.
To draw sides rather than what he actually brought to the table, and what he stood for.
Do you think his rhetoric was harmful or hateful, or
speaking division? A lot of the MAGA language, right, and causing division within our country.
Again, the division thing, like so-called black people, we just got to get out of this like hard-headed belief that this country is here to save us, or we owe this quote unquote country something. Now, if you read the scripture, you will see in the Lamentations 4:17 that if you're looking for a country to save you, you're looking in vain. It's not going to happen. If anything, so-called black people, we have to galvanize. We have to come together to find solutions that best fit our needs.
I believe the people that would say that have not experienced what others have experienced. And so when you learn to look through someone else's eyes, you become careful what you say. And I think as a race ourselves, we have to be very careful over and over and over again, but no one is careful about how they offend us.
So that should be telling you something right there, Miss, that no, they don't care. They don't want to hear you, and they have no type of how can I say this, type of joyful feeling in helping you or helping you feel a certain way. It is what it is. Like, draw a line in the sand and say this is what it is. If you don't like it, so what? They're drawing a line. You have the same ability to draw a line, but it's that whole "we shall overcome" civil rights movement um, jargon that's still, solidified in so-called black people's head. Like, they just can't see anything, but they just look at some of them. I'm not going to say all of us look at that stuff through like rosy colored lenses or something like that. Like, oh, everybody should get along. This should be happening. When the reality over history, you don't have to get along with somebody. You can be respectful of somebody, but you just don't have to get along.
I won't say no one because I don't want to put everyone.
We're generalizing, not
generalizing. Yeah. They're not careful about how they are offending us or looking at things through our lenses.
Why do you think it's so hard for them to understand? Because they just can't understand. Like, what do you mean he was offensive? What do you mean he's racist? What do you mean he's sexist? Like, they just can't understand why some people are conflicted about what happened. No, he shouldn't have died, but damn, y'all, as you said, y'all are doing too much.
Yeah, live by the sword, die by the sword. But I think
Well, she just quoted the script right there, like the Messiah said, "You live by it, you're gonna die by it." But she should have read Lamentations, like I said earlier. But what Zesty Don Lemon is talking about, like, you're looking for somebody's attention that's not going to give you the attention that you're looking for. So stop worrying about it. Move on. Some of these people do not want to deal with you. Like, get out of your feelings and move on.
Hard because, like you said, you haven't walked a mile in our shoes.
So sometimes it's hard to understand from another person's point of view, right? If you have not lived that life. Yeah. It seems always harder though for us.
It is always harder for us. And I would also say if you've been shown and dealt a lie your entire life. You know, by the time you're 20, 21 years old, you believe what you believe. You've been raised in an environment where those are your beliefs. It's really hard and triggering to think that your family, the people that you've been raised around, the people that you love are wrong, right? So it's hard to believe that. And so I believe hearing those types of truths are very triggering for them.
Well, the same could be said about you, Miss. Like I said earlier about so-called black people. Certain aspects of the civil rights campaigns, during the early '50s and '60s, has like kind of brainwashed so-called black people as well into thinking like everybody should get along, we should be at peace, and blah 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 blah, without thinking that these people never wanted peace with you at all, and you have to have enough guile and wisdom to see that over the past 60 years, none of these things has worked. So you have to move on, because it's like a woman being in an abusive relationship, that she's like, oh, he treats me good sometimes, but most of the times, or some of the times, he's whipping your ass or mistreating you physically, emotionally, etc. But the little time he treats you good, you just hold on to that for some reason. But anyway, that's my 1-2 on it. Leave your commentary. Let me know what you think.